rock and roll trucker.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Trucker, the channel that likes to rock and roll, the channel that likes to play. We love to eat, we love to truck, we love to see the world around us and just have a big old time. Come on in and have a seat, let's have a good chat. We'll tell you where we're going, we'll tell you where we've been. Yes, that is me playing the music. Before we get started, shout out to my company, JRV Logistics. That's who I leased my truck onto, and so far, so good. Check them out. Holler at me if you need some information. Good afternoon, y'all. How's it going? Not too shabby here. Pretty good start to the day so far. I last left you off in Jackson, Mississippi, I believe, at the Petro down there. Didn't love the place, what they've done to it, what they've let it turn into, but that's where we're at. That's where we left you. That's behind us now. I'll tell you about where I'm going, where I'm at right now, and all that good stuff. But first, this is the Rock and Roll Trucker, and we can't have trucking without the rock and roll too. Can't be all one-sided. So let me tell you what I'm listening to today. I'm going to recommend it as album of the day. We're going to go back to 1983. Debut self-titled album by the band Fastaway. Originally, it was supposed to be a project between Fast Eddie Clarke from Motorhead, hence the fast part of Fastaway, and Pete Way from UFO. There's the Way part, Fastaway. It's supposed to be them, Jerry Shirley of Humble Pie fame, and a relatively unknown vocalist at the time named Dave King, who went on later in life very successfully to be one of the founding members of the band Flogging Molly from Ireland. Anyway, they got ready to record that album, got to the studio, and right at the last minute, Pete Way bailed out. So they had to record it with a session bassist, which never got credited for his parts and his writing on that record. But nonetheless, they turned out a beast of a rock and roll album. It's from '83, I believe it was, but it's bleeding that late '70s. Just it's got that attitude, just got that little bit of dirt and nastiness to it. Just a little gritty rock album, just a foot stomping rock album. The track on there, Say What You Will, if you can't tap your toes, stomp your boots, snap your fingers, bob your head to that tune, I don't know if you've got any rock and roll inside of you. Anyways, let me snap my fingers and show you the cover to that album. There it is. But yes, that album, if you've never listened to it, I highly encourage it. If you fancy yourself a rock and roller, or you just love that kind of music, it's a good one to dive into if you're going to travel backward. If nothing new is suiting your fancy, go back in time. Pick something out you've never heard before. I have a hunch a lot of you might not have ever listened to that record, and if you haven't, you should. Get on it today. My personal recommendation. Now, also, on the subject of rockin' and rollin', I played a little rock and rollin' myself. I used to, in between time at home from trucking, I used to go out and I toured all around the country, played a lot of shows everywhere and some various bands and stuff. Most recently, I did a few shows with a band called Scattered Hamlet. That's my guys. Did about 3 shows with them, and I was scheduled to go back and do some more with them. And we were supposed to do like 6 shows or something like that. It was going to be about a week and a half run. And as fate would have it, before we even made it to the first show, we got rear-ended on the interstate by an uninsured motorist. Totaled the trailer, heavily damaged the van. It disconnected the trailer and spun it around in the middle of the interstate, smashed it up, destroyed some equipment. Luckily, we all walked away, not really hurt, but it completely derailed the little tour before it even started. And it kind of shelved those guys on their, a big chunk of their livelihood. I was filling in with them, their longtime bassist had left, and they were starting to regroup and testing out some different people, and I was lucky enough to get to step in. I did the first few shows with them and was on tap to do those rests, and I still wish that had never happened for them for a lot of reasons, and definitely because I wanted to play the shows. But after several months off, they've finally gotten regrouped, and they've got a new trailer, they've got their van just about fixed, equipment is replaced, and they've got all of those dates rebooked. I will not be playing them with them, but my hat's off to them for getting back out there, and I fully support them and can't wait to see them thrive. They're recording some new material. They'll have some new music out soon too, and I'm going to flash the tour dates up here in just a minute. But I highly encourage you, if those guys get anywhere near you, to go see them. Take the best elements of Leonard Skinner, Black Flag, Judas Priest, Clutch, Misfits. Just throw all of that stuff in a blender, and you come out with the hillbilly rock and roll machine that is Scattered Hamlet. It's a great show, great band, great recorded stuff, just fun, just awesome stuff. Check out Scattered Hamlet on Spotify, the YouTubes, the Google Music, or the YouTube Music, all of that stuff. Whatever you've got, go buy a record. They could use the support from regripping and everything. But let me flash those tour dates up on the screen right about now. Y'all see those dates? You got Texas, Oklahoma, I believe there's some Missouri, Kansas City, something like that in there. I can't remember them all off the top of my head. But look at them, pause the video there, zoom in on them, screenshot it, zoom in, whatever you got to do to see them good. If you're near one of those places, go see one of those shows. What else? Yeah, Memphis is on there. A couple of Texas dates. I don't know them. They're on the screen. You don't have to take it from me. Just take it from me that it's a show worth going to. They're a band worth following. Go check them out. Scattered Hamlet. The truck's shaking. That means they're doing something. So I'll get back to you guys here in a little bit so you don't get motion sickness watching this. See that? I'll tell you where I'm at, where I'm going. And I'm back for a moment. Did you see that picture I just put up? That's a hint about where I'm at. Can you guess? Do you know that movie well enough to know what city I'm picking up in? I'm not picking up beer, but I'm picking up in that location. Tell me in the comments if you know where I'm talking about. Anyways, picking up heavy rolls of paper here, going to Kinston, North Carolina for Wednesday. And the glare on my glasses is back, so you'll have to miss out on seeing those pretty baby blues of mine. Anyways, again, where we been? We were in Jackson, Mississippi last night. Got up this morning, finished out, and came on to, where have we been? I'm already lost as to where I've been. What did I do? Where did I stay? Where did I deliver to today? Trucking is a mystery sometimes, I tell you. I was just there. I should know it. Any of y'all ever get confused like this? I remember Jackson. Oh yeah. Left out of Jackson Sunday and finished up my drive to Shreveport for delivery this morning. I parked on the street outside the customer last night. A little tiny, just narrow street at a food service place. Any of y'all ever been to Reinhardt Food Service? It's now Performance Food Group in Shreveport. Backing up, if you got trucks in the dock. Luckily, I was one of the first ones to back in this morning with a 6 a.m. appointment. It's a joke. Terrible. Tight place. They have very, very terrible reviews on their backing in situation and their unload times. I got lucky, I guess. They got me out quick. I had a dry load. I didn't have a reefer load like a lot of the people that have gotten hung out to dry in that place. But anyways, got done with that. Now we're sitting over here in the mystery place that was on the picture before this clip here. And we're going to go to North Carolina. I don't have a bunch of mounts and stuff in here, so I can't do like time-lapse videos or anything like that yet. I'll eventually get to it, and I'll make it a fully immersive experience going along and riding with the rock and roll trucker. Nah, I'm not fooling myself. That's just what I go by on there. That's been the handle name on my YouTube channel for a good long time. And there is truth to it. I did go around the country rocking and rolling and truck driving. But yeah, we'll improve all this later. Basically for now, I'm just going to keep you updated on my ventures, and if I see anything cool, I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you what I'm picking up, where I'm going. Tell you that this load is super heavy. Doesn't pay great. There's profit in it though. Freight rates are just down everywhere. Just plain and simple truth. And I know everybody's like, don't haul cheap freight. Sometimes you gotta haul cheap freight, because unless you're lucky enough to get contracted freight, you know, and get direct ship customers, freight's cheap right now. That's just the way it is. It's coming down in all segments of the trucking. It is what it is. I'm hauling for as much as I can get, but it's still kind of cheap on some of it, but I'm able to turn profit of it. So don't get mad at me for trying to get my operating costs down to where I can survive this game that I've jumped into at a very bad time. I fully intend to survive, and I don't really care what your opinion is of what I carry. If it's paying my bills and putting money in my pocket, I'm going to do what I've got to do in regards to the overall climate of the freight market. So any of you that hops in here and says don't haul cheap freight, go blow it at your stovepipe. I'm hauling freight for the same rates as everybody else out there is right now, and don't really nobody got any control over it. I know we're going to have the super trucker wonders get in the comments and tell us all about their $4 and $5 drive-in freight that they're hauling all over the country and ain't got no trouble finding. Keep on telling that story to your grandkids and stuff. But anyways, tell me in the comments. Tell me where I'm at. Watch that little picture I put at the beginning. That's my clue. Pretty obvious if you know the movie. Get down in the comments, discuss some music. Tell me what you think about my album of the day pick at the beginning. Tell me that you got big plans to go see Scattered Hamlet. Tell me what concert you're going to sometime soon, if you got any plans this summer. Anybody in music festival people? Went to Louder Than Life, man. My lady did this past year, back in September. We sprang for the top shelf VIP package that we had no business buying, but it was a wonderful time. Had a big old time. Any of y'all do anything like that? Any of y'all riding motorcycles? I got a bike at home too. I like to ride that. Don't know when I'll see it again. I won't be seeing it much this year, I don't guess, but when I'm home I'll get on it anytime the weather's good. And anyways, tell me about yourself. Tell me what you do. If you got a hobby that you think I might be interested in, ask me if I do that. Tell me about it. Get in the comments. Let's talk it up. I'm going to hop off here for a bit. Hopefully this place is unloading me. They made me go to one warehouse. They put 75% of the load on and said, you got to go a mile down the road to get the rest, which is two rolls of paper. So I came over here to the other warehouse. I've been sitting here for close to an hour now waiting on 2 rolls of paper. My hours are tight. I'm kind of running on recaps right now. So I really need to be out of here so I can make this bright and early 8 a.m. Wednesday delivery over in North Carolina. I'll get it there. I'll figure it out. But I'm going to hop off here and crack open my Coke Zero, have me a sip of something very tasty but very unhealthy, and I will hop back on when we get further into this trip, when I get stopped again somewhere, or if I see something cool. I'll make another clip, pop it in here. Y'all hang out, go do what you do. I'll be back. It might be hours, but to you, it'll be instantaneous. Talk to y'all in a little bit. And just like magic, I'm back. It was instantaneous for you folks, but it was hours in the making for me. We've been chugging along, we've been driving along. Finally got that load done. That place was a drag. They took forever to get me done, and then we started driving. Me and Dash, the little Chihuahua dog, have just been trucking along. We are, I think the name of this place is Hickory Flat, somewhere in Mississippi. I'm headed for Kinston, North Carolina. Why are you in Mississippi, you say? Well, the load's a little heavy, so I opted, instead of taking 40 over the top up through Nashville and everything, going through Knoxville and down through the gorge and through the mountains in North Carolina and everything, doing all those heavy pulls, hills, slow moving roads, hard pulls and everything. I was like, it's only about 30 more miles to go down the bottom, go through Memphis down in Mississippi and take the, is it 22 now? Used to be Highway 72, 78 or whatever. They call it 22 now. Cuts across and you end up, go through Tupelo and end up in Birmingham and go across to Atlanta and blah, 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 and we'll end up in North Carolina that way. It was only about another 30 miles. Got to deal with Atlanta, but that won't eat up near as much fuel as it would have been going across 40 there. And I'm balling on a budget right now after that breakdown and everything. I know I sound like a broken record talking about that breakdown, but it was traumatic, y'all. It was rough. It was a rough start right out of the gate on my first trip. But I'm okay. We're going to recover. We're headed that direction. Towards recovery. Towards everything being right in the world. Not a lot of interesting things to report tonight. I kept going. I tried several places. Everything's full. There's trucks everywhere, all over the place. There's always a trucker shortage that we're told. Yet, you can't ever find anywhere to park for all the trucks. And freight rates suck, and it seems to be getting harder to get loads. So, I never understand where this trucker shortage thing comes from. Above my pay grade. Not for me to understand, I guess. But yeah. It's the end of the day. Me and Dash are chilling. Not a lot of exciting to report. Didn't really see anything cool. The weather was gorgeous. The skies, the weather, that's cool to see because it was really nice if you like nature and you like beautiful weather. Yeah, nothing cool. We knocked out after my time, after unloading this morning and getting my clock started and having my time wasted at that shipper and being on recap hours and not having a full day worth of hours. We chugged along. We got over 400 miles in today. I needed to do way more than that, but it is what it is. Tomorrow, we'll knock down a good solid 650, I'd say. Be a full day tomorrow. Maybe I'll see something cool. Maybe I'll have a good story to tell. But anyway it goes, I appreciate you. I'm tripping all over my tongue, ain't I? I'm tired. Anyways, I appreciate y'all, any of you that's watching. If anybody watches it, this may stay up for 6 months and get 0 views. Might be a big goose egg. Who knows? Ooh, you see that? Lemmy is always riding with me in the truck. It's not just Dash. I forgot about that. We got Mr. Motorhead right there on my arm. Rock and roll trucker, you know, all that stuff. Anyways, if you watch this, I appreciate you. If you've never been to my channel at all, I'm going to try and be pretty active on it here pretty soon. And like and subscribe if you feel like it. If not, go bugger off with your stingy self. I'm just kidding. I understand. I wouldn't subscribe to me either. Yes, I would. I would subscribe to me. But anyways, I'm going to get off here. Me and Dash are going to finish up an episode of Seinfeld. And we're going to get up and see the sunrise probably and take off the rest of the way, almost the rest of the way to North Carolina. We'll share stuff with you on the way if we find anything good. If not, we'll just give you a short, boring narration of the trip. It's bound to be exciting either way, don't you think? Anyways, good night to you all. Have a good tomorrow. Have a good rest of the week.